What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 7. This is for the second last episode, which is called Something They Need. Now, this episode was amazing. I loved the last couple episodes. I really enjoyed episode 13, also episode 12 I enjoyed quite a bit, but I also enjoyed episode 14 a whole lot, and of course this episode was a great build-up for the season finale. Now, again, weekly kind of usual type of routine. Spoiler warning if you have not seen the most recent episode of The Walking Dead. Really awesome episode this week. I really love it, and the promo for next week is amazing. So, what's my favorite scene of this episode? I know I've heard a lot of people say, when you first start your review, what's your favorite scene? Then you go into the episode. Personally, my favorite scene for this episode would have to be definitely when Negan kills David. I thought that was absolutely awesome. So you can tell just by seeing this episode, and I love the stuff that they did with Sasha in this episode, that they are definitely, in the finale, probably going to give her the Holly story arc, and that in the promo, you can see Negan at the gates, and he's like, kind of scared, but then he's also like, oh God, you can tell Negan's like, oh God, Rick's got me, right? So, I can't wait to see that, because based off the look on his face, clearly Negan is probably, maybe not scared, because I don't think Negan gets scared, but I think he's a little mad, because he can't really do anything, and he's outnumbered. Of course, the thing about that is he holding someone? Because it looks like he's holding someone. So I'm going to guess right there in that shot, he's holding Sasha captive, right? If you can kind of tell what I mean by that. So he's like holding her by the shirt maybe or something. And they have maybe a bag over her head, just like in the comic. And then I won't go into too much more. I'm not going to spoil what happens with Sasha, but basically, I'm going to say, I think Sasha will be killed off next weekend. I don't think she's going to make it into Season 8 for this one. I don't think so. Like Sasha says, it's not Rosita's time. It can't be her. Somebody's got to die, and I think it has to be her this year. So, man, last year we got a death in the finale as well. Well, kind of did. I mean, the cameraman died. I'm just kidding. No, Abraham died at the very end of, season 6, right? Because the Glenn one was kind of after the whole Abraham thing, and that was only included, the second death was only included in the season 7 premiere. Because really, we only saw the Abraham one in the season 6 finale, because they didn't really, well, even though they didn't show us who it was, so, we kind of did have a death last year, if you want to consider Abraham, since he was the first one, and they did show a point of view being Abraham getting killed. So, we had a death last year, so this one I think is going to be Sasha. But, anyway, really like seeing this episode. This was really great. So let's talk a little bit about what happened here with Sasha and everybody at the sanctuary. So we see Sasha; she's been captured. But the thing is, I wanted to see how she got taken down. When she got taken down, because they just kind of show her in the cell, and it's like, did I miss something? Like, I was even thinking, like, did I miss something real quick? Because I was a little confused. I was like, well, what's going on here? But then I love this part, because then we see her, and then David comes in. Well, he comes in later. David comes in, and he's like, he wants to he kind of likes Sasha. He kind of wants to be with her, and she's asking for water, and he's like, if I get you water, you give me a little certain something. If you know where I'm alluding to, right? And he's trying to rape her, and I'm like, dude, that is just dark. And then Negan comes in, and I'm like, yes, even though I knew he was probably gonna die, because this part, and I guess I'll say it now, was in the comic book series. For the people that haven't read the comic book series, I didn't want to spoil it, but I kind of knew that this scene was coming up here soon. I kind of felt it, because when I saw the setup for Sasha, I was like, yeah, we're going to see this scene eventually. So I kind of knew when David came in, I was like, yeah, that's going to happen. And I love the TV series version of this. This was awesome. So it looks like to me, at least me personally, it looks like Negan, is, thinking to himself, well, I can't keep this guy alive because he's trying to rape a woman, and that is dark. That is really, really dark. So, I mean, obviously Negan, he's kind of threatening him, and then, he says, I'm sorry and everything. And then, even after all that, it's not enough for Negan. And you know what? I understand, because you know what? That is dark, and that is brutal, and that should not ever happen, and that's terrible. So, Negan kills him, right? And you see the shot directly pulled right out of that comic book page where he puts the knife and it goes through. I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. And like they said, they were toning down the violence, but I think they kind of stepped it up when it came to that scene. I was like, yes, man. So, you can't cut any of that out. That is an awesome scene, and I loved it. That was an awesome scene. So then it looks like, Eugene is, Eugene knows she's miserable, and I love this, and this was crazy, because she asks Eugene for one of the pills, and I'm like, what? Like, and he gives her the pill. So we can tell that he doesn't give it to her right away because of the fact that, she's in the promo for next week. So obviously she's going to take it probably. I'm going to bet if she is going to die next week, I think she will die by taking that pill. I think it will work, it will probably happen, I'm gonna guess at least probably where they're like in the Savior's truck and she takes one, and then when they arrive to Alexandria, she's dead. So I think that's gonna be my prediction for next week. I could be totally wrong, but I think she probably will die in that fashion, because it looks like Negan's really trying to hold, somebody or something, and zombies move quite a bit. So I think that'd be pretty dark. And I'm not gonna spoil too much more, but people that read the comic book know that there isn't a Sasha, but there's a character right now in the comic book, where we are right now from the comic book right now. There's a character that's actually captured, and everything kind of happened. Negan in the comic book kills Dave, so it's kind of all set up just like it. So I'm really excited to see what happens next week. Really, really excited. So I also like when Negan says tomorrow's going to be a big day. So I was thinking, it'll be her, probably be her last day. So, and probably not a very good one. So, yeah. So that's all the stuff at the Sanctuary. Let's go to the Hilltop now, because we had tons of different groups in this episode. Not too much to say about this one. We just saw a quick scene with Maggie and this guy. Don't really know what to make of it. We could see something with her and that guy, whatever. I don't know his name. But let's see here. So we also have, of course, okay, so Gregory, I've written it down here. Gregory also, he doesn't try to kill Maggie. And I was like, dude, I was really shocked. I was like, dude, I was positive he was going to try to kill Maggie. So I told you guys, and I told you in the promo, I said the second most likely thing would be if, maybe they make us think he's going to stab her, but, he's not. Even though I did say the most likely would be he tries to stab her and then all this stuff goes down. I did also say in yesterday's video that it's also possible they just could be messing with us and it might look like he's about to stab her. And I did say that in that video. So, check it out. I think the video, it was the video before the last one. So, check it out, and you'll get your proof right there that I did say that. But anyway, and also, of course, I love the part where, of course, he tries to kill the walker, and he's just, why do I love it? Why do I love it? Because he can't kill a walker, and Maggie has to save him. Because he's so weak, and I love it, because then that means Maggie can take over, and it's awesome, and she's a better leader than he'll ever be, and he ever was. So really, to be honest with you, I don't mind what Gregory's doing right now, because I actually want him weak, because I don't want him tough to the point where he can take Maggie out, which I don't think is ever going to happen. Don't think so. If, Gregory, touch Maggie, I'm serious, man. You better not touch Maggie. So, anyway, she's an awesome character. So, anyway, who says he can? He's not even that strong. So anyway, Rick's group at the Oceanside. So we didn't see too much of this. I thought this would have taken up most of the episode. It didn't. It only took up about a good 15-10 minutes. But it was pretty good when we saw Rick and them. They were there. And, so then we have Natalya and Cindy and Tara kind of points the gun, right? And then, of course, it kind of flips on her, and the gun wasn't loaded, so then, Nathania lets her go, and then Nathania and Cindy and Tara go out, and then Nathania's holding the gun to Tara, while the others from the ocean side, after all these huge, shots went off, right, from Michonne, they're all down on the ground, and then Rick and them tell them, what's going on and everything. And then I love the part where those awesome walkers from the beach before, at the beginning of the episode, kind of come and, all that kind of stuff, and they take them down. Also, really, really love the gun that Rick was using. Really, really cool looking rifle, or machine gun, sorry. So, really cool, really cool. That's all I really have to say. That it wasn't that much. I was surprised, though, that they didn't go to war with Rick's crew. Maybe we'll see that in Season 8. Maybe they'll come in out of nowhere, or maybe in the finale or something, they show up at Alexandria, but I don't think they know where Alexandria is, so probably not. That's probably the last time we'll see them until probably next year, next season, I'm going to say. So, you see, though, I like episode 6 better now because of those 10-15 minutes of this episode. Just that, I think, really makes episode 6 good, and I never really disliked it. It was just a little slow, right? So that's the problem with slow episodes sometimes. But of course, the ending. So, I knew it was Dwight. I told you guys it was Dwight, and a lot of people said Daryl, but I said Dwight, and Dwight is the one that Rosita saw, and it looks like Dwight actually let Rosita take him captive, and we of course see Daryl, who they're all kind of standing there, and they're all kind of standing still. I'm like, why isn't anybody doing anything? And then out of nowhere, Daryl just kind of goes, just body he just all of a sudden just, he tries to go at Dwight, and then of course Rick and I think Jesus stop him, and I think Michonne is kind of there too, tries to stop him. Mainly Rick though. Rick stands in front, right? He's like, don't touch him. And then Rick's about to kill him, right? And then Rosita says, well, they're all about to, really. But then Rosita says, he says he wants to help. And then Rick's like, is that true? And then he points the gun and he's like, on your knees. So I was like, yes. But then Dwight's probably thinking, oh, God, this is another savior group, is it? But I think Dwight knows, though, that these are good people. They just don't trust him. And I think Dwight knows that they don't trust him because of the stuff he did with Denise, with all that. Who doesn't want to kill Dwight? Obviously he killed Denise. So Tara wants to kill him. Anybody would want to kill him. And especially Daryl, because he killed Denise and in front of Daryl's eyes, and he did more. He shot Daryl. He was he put him in a prison cell. Well, Negan did, but he was the one that was kind of the security for Daryl being in the prison, right? Because of course, when Daryl escaped, you can kind of tell because when Daryl escaped, of course, they beat up Dwight. So obviously he was in charge of Daryl too. So that's another thing that Daryl wants to get his revenge on. So that is awesome. And I wish, to be honest with you, I kind of would have liked to see, Daryl kind of punch him. But we might still see that because in the promo, he's holding a knife to Dwight. So we might still see that. I hope so. I really do hope so. So let me know what you guys think about this episode. This was awesome. I can't wait for next week. This is like one of the most hyped episodes of this season so far. This season's been a week, but I think at the end of this season is going to be probably one of the best. So anyway, I'll see you guys really soon for the predictions video. Write your comments below, and I'll see you guys really soon. Peace.